His name is Ryan Raveloson. He is a very versatile player and an excellent soccer player. This year with Troyes, they won the second division in France, so their team is going up to the first division. He had other opportunities to play in first division clubs, and again, chose the Galaxy and MLS, which is an incredible thing for us and for our league too, to get these young players who are still working towards their prime to choose our league and choose our club. It's a big deal. So he is a versatile player. We've seen him this year. He's primarily a defensive midfielder, but we've seen him play in the back three as a middle center back, as a right center back. We've seen him play defensive midfield, higher up the field as an 8. We've even seen him play some as a right wing back for them this year. So a lot of versatility because he's just a very good, very high awareness player. Very, very comfortable and smooth with the ball, and can fit, for us and give us some depth in midfield, but also gives us some flexibility with him that we can do some different things as well. So we're excited to have him. In terms of timeline, I've given up on timelines when it comes to the visa process. We're not having a lot of success in making that process fast, and so hopefully with the break not too far ahead of us, we can get these things done and get these guys here and get them the opportunity to meet their teammates, settle in, with living conditions and stuff like that, and all that good stuff. So I remain optimistic, but nothing is happening fast. That's for sure.
And with Cabral, have you seen another week of training for him? Have you seen him sort of settling in this week?
Yeah, very much. I thought it's interesting because after the game on Saturday, I felt like on Sunday when we returned in and we trained as a group, it was almost like a big relief on Sunday that he got kind of that initial feel of his first game and getting the emotion of that part of it out and that uncertainty of what it's like to be on the field in an MLS game. Like all of that, I feel like was behind him after just that 30 minutes. And he came out even on Sunday, the day after, just a lot lighter, a lot freer, I felt just a lot more comfortable, and has been so this whole week. He's impressed me with just how quickly he's understanding what we're trying to do from game concepts. Very, very intelligent and picking up things quickly. Again, showing his creativity on the ball and his ability to do the things that we've seen him do. So, but I have seen just his ability to kind of settle in the group this week, take a big step forward than even where it was, last week. So we're happy with that for sure.
Thanks, Greg.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Damien. We'll go next to Alicia Rodriguez with SB Nation. Alicia, go ahead.
Thanks very much. Greg, I wanted to ask, given that Ryan is the fourth player signed out of France this year by the club, do you guys see France, and I guess in particular Ligue 2, as like a good place to find value for MLS right now? Because you guys really seem to be targeting that those leagues in particular to pick up some players. So I'm curious about your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of things. In terms of players that we looked at on paper and looked at on video and all that, we scoured a lot of different countries. We were everywhere in South America. We were in the eastern part of Europe. In Europe, France was one of the countries. One of the opportunities we have in France, I think the top part of Ligue 2 and the best young players in Ligue 2 who have the League One potential are players who can settle in and play in our league. It's an athletic league. It's a fast-paced league. It's also very organized, and there's teams in there that are very tactical, and some that make sense for what we're trying to do as well. Troyes definitely being one of them. Their coach is a former teammate of mine. They have a similar setup as like a Man City, and so they have some similar principles, game principles that we have in terms of what we're trying to do. So that just being one example. But I think, again, the players who are pushing and knocking on the door of League One, who are still young and have upside, are very, very viable players in our league, and it makes sense. The other part of that is that's where we could get to see players live, to meet them in person, to get a real feel for what these players are going to bring to our team, not just on the field but off the field. And so we were having a tougher time nailing down all those things with some of the players we were interested in Central America. It was not as easy for us to get there and get a real feel for that and get deals done. And we were able to do so in France. I think with with the pandemic, some of the teams and some of the clubs over there are having a difficult time financially, which also, it helped because we were in position to try to make moves, and we had resources to do so. So it came together. I think the players do fit our league and fit what we're trying to do. But deals there's a lot of things that have to come together for these deals to actually get to the final stage and get the players here. And it happened for us in that league this year, and it won't always be the case as we continue to look to add to our team, because we will. We're still scouring the globe to find the players who fit what we're trying to do.
Thanks, Alicia. We'll go next to Scott French to follow up on the question of the French league.
Chris was hoping that I would.
Scott, you cut out. There we
Hoping
go.
that I would ask a question about French players. Alicia actually asked my question, but I'm also wondering, Greg, you have a background in France,
Yep.
both as a player and in your evolution in becoming a coach. In what ways has that kind of given you more of an insight into French players and perhaps maybe put your radar on France a little stronger?
Some of it is, again, connections, resources to be able to speak to people there who are close to players, but maybe not in the inner circle of the players, so you can get other assessments, you can get ideas of how the player trains, who they are off the field. There's different things where when you have knowledge of people in an area, then you can get more information as you try to do your diligence on players. Second, a little bit is, as you said, some of the academies and some of the clubs that the players have come from. I have some knowledge of what their process was as they came through their different academies, especially with at PSG Academy with Cabral, and kind of understanding what their philosophy is and how they're thinking. And so there's some benefits. None of those that I would say are overly worth putting out there as a real priority in this. It was looking to see what the players, how they play, how they think about the game as we're watching and assessing them, what qualities that they're going to bring to the team relative to how we define the positions and the roles that we want them to play. And the second part, as I said, is just the due diligence part of that. We're adding a person that fits into our team and it has the hunger to continue to improve and get better, to want to win championships, things like that. It just, again, the connections help you to dig in a little bit more and maybe gather more information in the process.
Wonderful. Thank you, Greg.
Yep.
Hey, Scott. We'll go next to Josh Gassman. Josh, go ahead.
Hey, Greg. Wanted to ask a little bit about this weekend match with Portland. Obviously, a difficult place to play, playing on turf. Always been a difficult place for the Galaxy to go up and play. I wanted to know your thoughts on this game coming up.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's always a difficult place to play. For us is to continue to keep building on what we're trying to do and who we're trying to be. Ultimately, when we achieve being the best version of us, is to continue to take steps forward. I thought we did so this past weekend in a couple different ways. We want to continue to work on ourselves defensively and becoming more difficult to play against, making it more difficult for teams to get into our half. I thought we did a nice job this past weekend of protecting our goal again in our box, but I would still want us to get to be a little bit more difficult for oppositions to get out of their half and into our half. So these are things we want to continue to improve upon. I think a season is about getting better, and ultimately you want to keep taking points along the way, but especially for a new coach and a new group of players, we just want to keep making improvements along the way. So we're going to go there with, again, the objective to try to play our way, aware of the things that they do well, try to take those away and keep taking steps forward and keep acquiring as many points as we can through the process. And so, but as you said, difficult place to play, but we hope we can make it difficult on them and create some opportunities that we can execute on.
And then I guess my standard question before every game, any updates on any injuries? I know Victor was on the bench, and seemed available in the last game, but O'Neal Fisher, I think, was also a little bit of a question mark before this as well.
Yeah. O'Neal's back in. Victor is trained most of this week. We'll see the role he plays. We're trying to be smart with his process, also understanding we're on turf and just taking that in a smart way. So we'll see as we get a little closer to the game what his role would be in the game. I think everybody else is healthy, is involved. Jalen Neal's still working his way back, and aside from that, I think we're pretty whole.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Josh. I think we have time for maybe one more. We'll go to Gio Garcia. Gio, go ahead.
Hey, Greg. I just wanted to ask you, obviously, Sebastian Legit just got called up to the national team, and there's going to be a lot more players being called up. What are your thought process going into that in the next couple of weeks, and you getting some of these French players to come in?
Well, I hope they show up in the next couple of weeks. But with Sebastian and all our guys who have, who are fortunate enough to be called up by the national team and have that duty, we want to be supportive of them, and it's a part that I think is important in their career. For us is just, we've mapped out who we think we're going to be missing and when, and we just want to make sure that we have enough cover and we have the right guys to be able to keep the team moving forward. Luckily in this break, we don't really lose we don't have matches really, so we don't lose too many guys during this window. So nothing to be overly concerned about. It really gets down to the Gold Cup when guys will be away and we have matches that we make sure that we have as much depth as we need, that we can continue to do the things that we want to do and not have to adapt the team completely during that time frame. We want to continue to try to move forward in what we want to do. So that's part of the process of continuing to add to this team, is to make sure that when it does get busy and we do have guys away, that we have the right cover, and when everybody's here, that we have the right competition in the group to keep moving forward.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi.
My first question is, what was the decision to come to the U.S. and Major League Soccer?
Qu'est-ce qui a poussé ta décision à aller jouer aux États-Unis et en MLS?
Ce qui a poussé ma décision à venir ici, c'est l'intérêt du club, l'intérêt du coach et de tout le staff qui était vraiment présent pour moi, qui pendant de longs mois, on va dire, ils étaient derrière moi et ils m'ont montré qu'ils étaient vraiment intéressés par moi et qu'ils aimaient mon style de jeu. Et j'ai vu en ce club un bon projet pour moi. Et franchement, je ne regrette pas mon choix.
It's the interest of the club, of the coach and of the whole staff. For long months, they were present for me. For long months, they showed interest in me and that they loved my playing style, so I don't regret my choice at all.
Did you have any options to stay in France, and what's been your early impression of the team and the style of play?
Alors il y a deux questions. La première, c'est est-ce que tu avais des options pour rester en France? Et la deuxième, quelles sont tes premières impressions sur l'équipe et sur son style de jeu? Peut-être aller question par question.
Ok. Oui, j'avais des sollicitations de clubs français et des clubs étrangers. Mais on va dire que Galaxy, ils étaient vraiment, ils ont vraiment montré un vrai intérêt avec plusieurs offres. Et on va dire que les propositions en France ou à l'étranger, elles étaient, comme c'était pas encore la fin de saison, ils étaient pas un peu sûrs. Et franchement, mes premières impressions sur le club, c'est un très grand club. Franchement, les infrastructures, elles sont magnifiques et le collectif, il y a beaucoup de niveaux ici et j'apprécie vraiment le niveau qu'il y a dans l'équipe.
Yes, I received offers from clubs in France and abroad, but LA Galaxy showed a lot of interest. They even made several offers. And in France and abroad, they were not sure about the offer, maybe also because the season was not finished there yet. And my first impressions about the club, it's a great club. There are great facilities and the collective level is impressive.
Thank you.
Thanks, Damien. We'll go next to a question from Katia Castrano with ESPN. Katia, go ahead.
Thanks, Chris. Hi, Kevin.
Hi.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
I wanted to ask you about how you felt in last weekend's game. Coach mentioned that sometimes there's pressure to come into a game, especially as a young DP. So how you felt and how has that transition been for you, and just getting to know your new teammates?
La question, c'est savoir comment tu t'es senti lors du match de ce week-end, particulièrement avec ton statut de jeune joueur désigné. Est-ce que ça apporte une pression supplémentaire et comment la transition s'est faite avec les nouveaux coéquipiers?
Franchement, je n'ai pas de pression particulière par rapport au statut que j'ai ici. Je me concentre plus sur mon football. Et franchement, ma première rentrée, j'ai beaucoup apprécié. J'étais un peu fatigué. Vous savez, les jambes, parce que ça fait un bon moment que j'avais pas joué en compétition. Et ces premières minutes elles m'ont fait énormément de bien. Et je pense qu'au fil du temps, des semaines, des mois à venir, je vais me sentir encore de mieux en mieux. Et j'espère marquer beaucoup de buts pour ce club.
I have no particular pressure because of the UNDP stages. I focus first and foremost on my football. My first minute, I appreciate them a lot. They were very welcome because my legs were heavy because I did not play for a long time. And now I want to play more and more and to score more and more goals for this club.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cassia. We'll go next to Larry Morgan. Larry, go ahead.
Bonjour Kevin, comment allez-vous?
Bonjour, ça va, merci et vous?
I'd like to ask you, can you put into words the amount of frustration you felt trying to get all the paperwork squared away so that you would be able to leave France and come to the States and join the Galaxy? How difficult was that on you?
À quel point c'était difficile, voire frustrant, toutes les démarches administratives que tu as dû remplir pour quitter la France et te rendre aux États-Unis?
C'était frustrant parce que je ne m'attendais pas à un long temps d'arrêt comme ça, avec les démarches pour le visa, tout ce qui s'ensuit. Et franchement, au début, je pensais que ça allait être plus rapide que ça, mais on ne peut rien faire. Hein. C'est pas nous qui décidons, c'est pas le club qui décide. J'ai dû prendre mon mal en patience et maintenant que je suis là, je suis très content.
I didn't expect it to be stopped for such a long time. The visa and all the paperwork, I thought it would be faster, but what can you do? It's not on me, it's not on the club, so we had to be patient. But now I am here and I am very happy to be here.
Merci beaucoup.
Thanks, Larry. We'll go next to a question from Scott French in English.
Hi, Kevin. This is a club that is increasingly becoming more French. More French players are coming in. To have some of your countrymen here, how has that assisted in your becoming more at home, adjusting, just kind of becoming part of this club and part of the community?
C'est un club qui a une couleur de plus en plus française, il y a de plus en plus de joueurs français qui signent. À quel point ça te permet de te sentir plus à la maison et entre guillemets au milieu des tiens?
Franchement, le fait qu'il y ait beaucoup de Français, c'est sûr que ça aide à l'adaptation. Mais je pense que même sans autant de Français qu'aujourd'hui, c'est un très très bon groupe qui vit très bien, qui accueille très bien les nouveaux. Et les Français, c'est sûr que ça aide, c'est toujours mieux. Même il y a Sacha qui parle bien français. Mais avec ou sans les Français, je me serais intégré parfaitement au groupe qui est très chaleureux, très, très accueillant.
Obviously, having a lot of French players helps a lot, but even without any French players, the roster is very good and very welcoming for newcomers. And it's not only the French people, but also the French language. For example, Sasha speaks very well. But I repeat, even with fewer French people here, I would have adapted.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. We'll go next to Matthew Singer. Matthew, go ahead.
Hi, Kevin. How's it going? Just kind of following up on that. Obviously, Samuel hasn't been in MLS for much longer than you have, but has there been any relationship with him, being someone who's also from France and also playing on the wing? Has there been any relationship between you guys?
Excuse me, could you repeat the guy with who?
To clarify, Samuel Grancière.
Okay. Samuel. Est-ce que Samuel Grancière, il joue aussi sur le flanc, il est aussi français. Est-ce que Tu as des liens particuliers avec lui?
Forcément, oui, c'est sûr que je parle un peu plus avec lui. En dehors du foot, on est beaucoup ensemble puisqu'on est dans le même hôtel, en attendant de trouver une maison. On va dire qu'on traîne beaucoup ensemble et que l'adaptation de lui vis-à-vis de moi s'est fait naturellement et c'est un très bon ami.
Of course, I speak a lot with him. We are a lot of time together because we live in the same hostel, waiting to have and to find a house. So the adaptation of being together was just natural.
Yeah, I mean it's a good feeling, you know, always going to a place. You spend a lot of time there. Obviously, good times over there in Portland. A lot of friends, you know, people that I know for a long time. So it will be nice to go back to Portland, definitely.
Sounds good. Thanks. We will go next to Matthew. Do you still have a question? Your hand's up. Okay, we'll go next to Matthew. Go ahead.
Hi, Jorge. Good to see you again.
Hi.
In the last two games, the defense has really come together. I'm curious for yourself, how has the group been going? And do you think that the acquisition of Derek Williams has played any part in that, in terms of the backline coming together as a group?
Yeah, I think the team is getting better. We are evolving into the team that we want to be. Obviously, we still need to work on things, but the team and the backline and all together is coming along. Derek, great person, great player, experience. So that brings an extra to the team that helps a lot. And I guess this is the communication that we've been having. We were working for each other, running for each other, and I think we've been doing that really well.
We'll go next to Larry Morgan. Larry, go ahead.
Hi, Jorge. Thanks for speaking with us today. I have a two-part question. One, regarding your going back to Portland. Any friendly wagers with your teammates up there? And two, have you had this game marked on your calendar for a while?
No, obviously, yeah. I mean, I think I always, you see that when you're gonna go to Portland or they're gonna come. Not really marked, but you always look to those games, right? I think this game is gonna be really special for that matter. But at the end of the day, we are going with the mentality. I'm going with the mentality that is not gonna be an easy game, but we need to bring home those 3 points that are gonna be really important for us.
And any friendly wagers with any of the guys up there?
Yeah, I still sometimes keep communication with some of the guys over there. Like I said, I left really good friends over there, so it'll be nice to see them on Saturday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Larry. We'll jump into Spanish. We'll go first to Diana Alvarado. Diana, go ahead.
Gracias, Chris. Jorge, me da mucho gusto saludarte. Te conocí cuando buscabas un sueño. Este sueño continúa, es una realidad. Cuéntame o cuéntanos cómo ha sido todo el camino, MLS, México y regresar a tu casa.
Sí, claro que no ha sido fácil. La verdad que ya casi 13 años, la verdad, desde que fue lo del sueño MLS. La verdad que yo me siento muy agradecido por esa oportunidad de sueño MLS. La verdad que en lo personal mi carrera ha sido productiva, la verdad que también una carrera donde no he sufrido bastante en lesiones. Entonces, y esperemos que siga para adelante. La verdad que en Portland estuve muy a gusto, pude ser campeón, fui a México, también me tocó ser campeón acá en México. Ahora llego acá a Galaxy con todas las ilusiones y la esperanza de poder lograr algo grande también acá.
¿Qué está haciendo Jorge Villafaña para promover ese sueño dentro de los chavitos de su comunidad?
Seguir jugando, seguir manteniéndome. Creo que el dar el buen ejemplo, creo que que siempre ayuda bastante. La verdad que creo que desde cuando vine para acá mucha gente de Anaheim me reconoció y creo que al ver eso, creo que mucha gente me dice, sí, nosotros te seguimos desde que estabas en Chivas USA, de tus inicios, entonces eso habla de que haces las cosas bien y que te has mantenido en forma para seguir jugando profesionalmente hasta ahorita estos 13 años que llevo.
Ya te la preguntaron en inglés, pero ¿qué significa? Bueno, regresar a Portland, una cancha que conoces bien y el compromiso de traer la victoria a casa.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, you know, emotional as well. A place where I had a lot of good moments, where I left, like I said, really good friends on and out the field. So it'll be amazing to go back and play in Providence Park.
We'll go next to Katia Castorena with ESPN. Katia, go ahead.
Thanks, Chris. Hola, Jorge, gusto saludarte.
Hola.
¿Cómo has visto esa evolución? Hablabas que se están acercando a esa versión que pretenden del equipo y qué tan importante es tener este arranque de torneo de esta manera. ¿Se lo imaginaban desde, bueno, que tú te incorporas al grupo, la llegada del cuerpo técnico, el poder ya verlo materializado en la cancha en este arranque que sin duda da muchísima confianza y culminarlo en particular en el tema defensivo el partido pasado con el arco en cero? ¿Qué tan importante fue para ustedes eso?
Sí, te lo imaginas, creo que eso todo lo visualizas desde un principio, ¿no? Creo que como visualizas que vamos a tener un buen año, visualizas que quieres ganar la mayor parte de los partidos en casa, visualizas también llegar a los playoffs, todo eso se visualiza y como lo digo, creo que aún no se ve todavía la mejor versión de Galaxy, pero vamos por buen camino, creo que se está viendo poquito, pero creo que se va a ver un poco mejor y aprovechar, sacar resultados los que se pueda, porque al final del día esos 3 puntos que puedes haber dejado son necesarios para el último.
Thanks, Katia. We'll go to one more question. We'll end with Salvador Perez. Salvador, go ahead.
Thank you, Chris. Hola, Jorge, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, bien, gracias.
Qué gusto saludarte. Bien, Jorge, hoy en el Galaxy están viviendo un dulce momento, ¿sí? Por la posición en la que se encuentran, por los resultados, por la contundencia que se ha tenido, por la efectividad. Pero, ¿qué ha hecho este LA Galaxy diferente? ¿Qué ha hecho este LA Galaxy diferente del resto de los equipos? No sé si el buen momento que vive Javier, no sé si la forma en cómo se armó este equipo, ¿qué es lo que ha hecho diferente este LA Galaxy para la cara que está mostrando y que sean de los referentes de esta temporada? Gracias.
Sí, no, creo que son varias cosas. Creo que son la llegada de Greg. La verdad, la llegada de Greg creo que le dio un cambio rotundo al equipo. Creo que su ideología, lo que él trae, la cultura que quiere implementar al equipo, creo que eso también tiene que ver. Creo que la forma que él trabaja en sí para que el equipo tenga un balance atrás, en medio y adelante, creo que también se está notando. Claro, Javier está pasando por un momento increíble, que también viene a base de lo que se trabaja de atrás para adelante. Creo que hemos estado haciendo las cosas bastante bien para que él se pueda encontrar de frente a la portería y ha podido ahí marcar los goles. Entonces creo que eso es importante. Entonces creo que todo tiene su que ver y se está llevando por el buen camino. Y como siempre lo he dicho, siempre se puede mejorar de las cosas y hay cosas por qué mejorar y trabajar y seguiremos trabajando para llegar a ser ese equipo que sea contundente y que sea uno de los elegidos para llevar a la final de la Copa MLS.